I've used the first 2 sessions of this course to introduce the content of operations management. I would like to use this 3rd session of this course to talk a little bit about the course logistics and say a couple of things about myself. Now, I have to confess that when I was a student, these logistics and introduction sessions were always my favorite part of the course, because ultimately that was the one thing you could be sure of that wouldn't show up on the final tests and the final exam. So again, in this spirit, let me get started. My name is Christian Tewisch. I'm a professor of operations management here at Wharton. I want to welcome you to my office in Huntsman Hall at the Wharton School of the University of Pennsylvania. So you obviously see me. Behind me you see kind of my books and my journals. I typically will not show you the rest of the office, but since it's the first session, let's make an exception here. So you see my bicycle that I use to ride to work every day. It's a little bright outside, but you can get a sense of what I look at when I stare out of the window all day long. Here's my workspace where I try to crunch out papers and books, and then finally here's me again. And so again, the purpose of this session now is to talk about logistics and give you an introduction to the professor who will be your operations professor here at Coursera. As I explained on the landing page for this course, the value proposition is that you will be able to understand and improve business processes. This relates to measuring the performance of a process, as well as thinking about how do you actually improve the process. We cover a mix of industry with examples from healthcare, automotive, computers, call centers, and many other settings. I've designed the course in 5 modules which follow this half-week introduction that we've been having so far. The first module lays the foundation by getting into the details of process analysis. This is also the longest module. Then we're going to spend a week each on the 4 dimensions of the operational performance we just introduced in the last 2 lectures: productivity, variety, responsiveness, and quality. I have to confess that that is not a perfect decomposition of the overall content, but I thought it would be helpful to have some big picture guiding you in your study compared to just sorting the topics, for example, in increasing order of difficulty. There are no requirements or prerequisites for this course. The course is not a math course. Some of the modules will require some basic statistical understanding, but it's really nothing beyond knowing what a standard deviation is. In terms of the overall scoring and core academic evaluations for this course, there's going to be 1 large assignment at the end of each module. So that means 5 assignments. Each of them will be worth 10% of the final score. There's also going to be a final exam covering of 5 modules, which is going to account another 50% of the overall score. All the material that you need to study are on the slides and in the lectures. If you want to go into more details, see more study questions, and learn about adjacent concepts, most of what we're doing here is based on my course book written with my friend and colleague Gerard Cachon, Matching Supply with Demand. We're now in the 3rd edition of the book. There's a Chinese version, a Korean version, an international version. Most of what we're doing is pretty much covered in any of the editions. Let me be a little bit more specific about the work that lies ahead of us. I already said that the course consists out of these 5 modules: process analysis, productivity, variety, responsiveness, and quality. I've added a brief conclusion, and we have just finished the introduction basically today. So each of these 5 modules consists out of 8 to 10 sessions or lectures. Sessions or lectures tend to be between 8 and 12 minutes long. I hope you forgive me if I occasionally run over by a minute or 2. It lies in the beauty of Coursera that you can just put me on pause and finish the lecture at another time convenient for you. I try to put in every module, I try to have a module summary at the end of each module that really reviews the key definitions and calculations that we've encountered in the module, and then a test prep session that gets you ready for the final exams, gets you ready for the upcoming homework assignment by just me demoing how to solve a particular set of questions. As I said, we have a lot of work ahead of us, 50 sessions in this course, plus minus, but I promise you we're going to have a lot of fun together. Now, a couple of things about myself. As you can guess from my accent, I come from Germany, so I sound like a German because I am a German. I might also sound a little bit like a control freak, and that is because I am a control freak, as you will no doubt figure out over the 6 weeks that we have together in this course. I have been a professor here at the Wharton School for the last 15 years. I teach a first-year required MBA course called Operations Management, Quality and Productivity. And by now I've taught this course to roughly some 3,000-4,000 MBA students. And it's still not getting boring. It's really a topic that is very close to my heart, that I'm very passionate about. And so I was very thrilled when Coursera approached me and asked me if I could work with you to talk about operations management. I've also worked with the McKinsey operations practice. I've been involved there training new associates on tools and frameworks such as lean operations and the Toyota production systems, also topics that will come up in this course. As far as my research is concerned, most of my current research is about operations management and innovation in healthcare. I've worked on topics such as waiting times in emergency departments, the patient-centered medical home, throughput through intensive care units and operating rooms, and that's also really a topic that is close to my heart and something that we will, for that reason, see at a couple of sessions as we go through this course. When I'm not here in the office, kind of working hard or teaching to you, good chance that you will find me out in the woods on my bicycle, out here in the university pool. I've been a competitive triathlete for the last 20 years. With age kind of start to get a little slower, and now my main athletic goal is to stay ahead of my children as we kind of race through the mountains or compete on the bicycle. That's enough really as an introduction. I think we have work ahead, and so with that, really let's get started with the heart of this course.